We have finished our group filming for our psychological crime thriller Opening, and we've decided to edit this footage in a well-known software called Final Cut Pro. The reason for choosing this particular software is because we wanted to use a professional program which is used by many media industry experts, and using this software will enable us to venture with the effects, titles and etc., as this program offers all the pleasures an editor needs. As you can see, this is my workspace in which I'm going to edit our footage. Here is the footage that I've imported, and if you want to import any footage, you just click File, Import and Files. This here is my video and audio editing toolbar, and you can do all sorts of things with the temperature, exposure and everything. Here is a little toolbar which allows you to add transitions, music, titles for text and etc. features. Now this is a piece of footage that we filmed in London, and this footage was to show the girl walking from the party in the streets of London. Firstly, I'm going to detach the audio of this particular video, and you do that by right-clicking and click Detach Audio. Now I can just click on this and delete it. I'm going to use a toolbar called the Trim toolbar. I do this by clicking on this arrow mark. Here you can see a drop-down menu of Select, Trim, Position, Range Selection, Blade, etc. I'm going to choose Range Selection because I only want a little bit of this video. So I'm going to drag all the way there. And I'm going to click on Blade and click there. Now if I click back on Select, you can see that a little break has been given. So I can click on this and press Delete. Now the footage shows the girl walking halfway through instead of walking all the way from the beginning. If I take a look at this particular footage, I want to make sure I've got a blackout for this. So I can click on it and click on Video. Now if I scroll down all the way to Compositing, I can click Subtract. This will reduce the brightness of the footage. By dragging it left to right, I can increase or decrease the brightness of the footage. So if I play it from here, from the beginning, you can see it's got a much more darker look than before. If I want to prevent any shaking in the footage, I can click Rolling Shutter and Stabilization. This will enable or make sure that the footage doesn't shake and the distortion will be reduced. The next thing I can add is transitions. For that, I can click here. You've got all sorts of transition varieties here. You've got blurs, dissolves, lights, movements. I'm going to click on dissolve because as it's a thriller film, I don't want too much of a fun-loving transition. So I'm going to drag it and just place it there. Now if I play the clip from here, you can see how the transition has come. I can also distort the image. I can do this by pressing that tool, which I can move the focus points like that or like that, anything I want. A useful technique that can be used for this is the scaling technique. It's also called zooming into the video. If I click on Transform and click Scale, I can zoom in to this particular footage, and that's where it will start from. So if I play it again, you can see it's much more zoomed into the footage than before. This is a great tool to use if you want to zoom into things. If I want to add titles to this particular film editing, I can click on titles, which will come up with a range of titlings that I can use. Let's say I'm just going to use blur. And the title comes like this. Also, I can add special effects to this particular clip. Let's say I want this clip to go forward and then rewind again. I can do that by clicking here and click rewind and click back 2. Now this little timeline comes up, and this 100% shows the actual footage. This little blue box shows the rewinding bit, and this shows the footage playing again. So if I play this, this is how it would look. This is a very interesting effect to use, as it will add effect when you're trying to include flashbacks, or when you're trying to make an important point by making the protagonist go forward and then rewinding back their footsteps. If you take this particular footage, for instance, I want to reduce the distortion, so I can scroll down, rolling shutter, and I'm going to give extra high, so you cannot see the shake of the camera. If I want to add a sound clip to this particular section of the video, I can just drag the sound clip and add it to the timeline wherever I want to. Let's say I want to add it when the girl's walking, so I can add it there, and if I play it, it would look like this. Let's say I'm going to take this particular footage. This is the girl walking into the crowd in central London. But I don't want to just show it as her just walking normally. I wanted to show from the perspective of the murderer, who's viewing her through a binocular. So I select the video, and I'm going to scroll all the way down to video effects and click on night vision. Grab it and place it on the video, so it looks like the girl's being watched. But I can also decrease or increase the amount. Let's say I do that and play. You got a more realistic effect there. So there are many things that you can venture with Final Cut Pro, and this is really going to be exciting to edit on, as we're really looking forward to venture with the effects, because it's an exciting project and we're looking forward to it.